For a long time, a 23mm wide tyre was a standard race setup, and then a few years ago, thanks to disc brakes, 28 became popular. But now 30, and even 32 is gaining traction. So at what point does wider stop being faster? And is 35 actually the new sweet spot? Well, I've been testing tyres of all widths from 28 up to 40 over the last few months on a bike behind me, and I reckon 35 might be the ideal sweet spot. Because for general road riding, 35 doesn't feel excessive anymore. It just feels sensible and surprisingly quick. So let me share my experience of riding tyres in today's video, and if you're new around here and like content like this on a regular basis, make sure you're subscribed by hitting the button down below. But let's dive in. The reason this matters is because most of us don't ride on perfectly smooth roads. In the UK, where I live, the roads are in a badly maintained state of disrepair. There's gravel, there's potholes, the roads are often wet, and yeah, they're far from glass smooth at all. And I've been riding an old Super 6 Evo with narrow tyres on these roads recently, and it's a reminder of how rough and bumpy it used to be and how we took that for granted. It was the norm. But these days, thanks to modern bike development with disc brakes and wide rims and wide tyres and improved tyre technology, wide tyres makes riding roads much more bearable than it ever used to be. There's more comfort, it's not bounced around so much, there's more traction, so more control, and thanks to the latest science, which we all, I think, believe, these tyres are fast as well and definitely not slow. They might not feel quick, and this is something that definitely tricks cyclists into thinking they are slow. A narrow tyre at high pressure moves you around on the road a lot more and it feels quick. There's more excitement coming through the bike. But all that energy is slowing you down. It's not actually helping you get faster because the roll resistance suffers as a result. So while wide tyres do mute all that vibration and you don't get that feedback and it doesn't feel as exciting and it can feel slow, it's actually faster. And that's definitely something to get your head around when testing in wide tyres. But you have to try your tyres for a long time. Don't just do it on one ride. Get used to riding tyres on your local routes in different conditions, different times of the year. And over time, the wide tyres at low pressures will definitely win you over, as these have won me over the last few weeks. The other benefit of these 35mm wide tyres is the comfort they offer. Reduced fatigue over long rides on badly maintained roads. All that road bust, the small chatter, the vibrations, the rough tarmac, it's all gone. Your hands feel better, your bum feels better, and all the vibration coming through the handlebars and the saddle into your body, and the bike feels smoother on the first mile and it feels smoother 100 miles into a ride as well. I used these tyres for a 300km Audax in training for Badlands last year, and these tyres were amazing. You're riding a long way over a big variety of roads, and that reduced fatigue, you don't really notice it at first, but after 7, 8, 9 hours in the saddle, it definitely makes a big difference compared to the vibration energy you get from a narrow tyre. So yeah, definitely that long distance, a long ride benefit to a wide tyre. For me, it's not about replacing a 28mm wide tyre. A 28mm wide tyre on a race bike is still a fantastic thing, and I still can ride my local roads on that setup, but there's no denying the benefits of going to 32 and now 35 for the extra smoothness and comfort and control and confidence that a setup offers. The big downside to wide tyres, especially in this realm of 35, is the aero impact. And let's be honest, if you're racing and care about going as fast as possible, a 28 or 30 will be more aero than a 35. And that makes sense if you are riding fast. You're riding over 35, 40km per hour all the time. But if you're riding at more modest speeds, you're cruising along, enjoying the views and more focus on distance and enjoyment, and you're not chasing the average speed and the KOMs, then the slower speeds where aero has less of a benefit, the 35 aero trade-off isn't all that much. And it really comes down to what you prioritise. Like I say, if you're racing, go narrow, more aero, it's lighter, better. But if you're not racing, don't care about aero, marginal gains, you want comfort, then a 35 is definitely the way to go. And now on a modern frame like the 51 Seeker, which is now white, it was black last year if you're paying attention, and modern rims, which are nice wide internal width like these Zip 303 wheels, these big tyres don't look out of place. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. Wide tyres, wide rims, modern frame with space and wide tyres, it's a good looking setup. Talking of upgrades, have you upgraded your website yet? Well, with today's sponsor, Squarespace, it's both easier and quicker than ever before. And here's how. Simply start with a template, and it's a massive library to suit all requirements and tastes, and customize that template with an easy drag and drop interface to suit your requirements. Then add plugins for online shopping, running a newsletter, selling digital products, running a blog, starting a portfolio website. Whatever you need, there's a solution on Squarespace. Or use AI and simply answer a few easy questions, and a bespoke website is built for you in a few seconds. It really is that easy and simple. Anybody can build a website for any purpose on Squarespace. And you can find out right now how easy and fun building a website with Squarespace really is. We're free, no strings attached trial using the link down below. And if you enjoy it, which I'm sure you will, there's 10% off your first purchase of a new website or domain from a code on the screen right now. So head to Squarespace and build yourself a brand new website this year. Right, back to why tyres. Now in terms of rolling resistance, the tyres do stack up really well compared to a 30 or 32. I've done some testing with 30s and 40s, and these tyres, the 35s, are definitely closer in terms of feel and roll resistance to the 30 and 32 than they are to the 40s. The 40s I've tried from Pirelli, both the Centurato more recently and the P0 as well last year. That video linked down below in case you missed it. Those tyres do feel slow. They're okay at very slow speeds, but when you try and push the speed up above 20 miles per hour, say, you definitely feel more resistance, more drag. Extra weight, the heavy tyres, and the aero penalty as well. And when you are climbing out of saddle or sprinting, the low pressure, the tyres do feel kind of squidgy and squashy. But a 35 definitely feels closer in performance to a 30 or 32. It definitely feels faster at high speeds than the 40s, and doesn't feel that much slower than a 30 or 32. It definitely feels a bit slower than a 30 or 32, and data from independent sources backs this up. They are definitely a bit slower, but not as slow as a 40. So a good middle ground, you get the benefits of comfort and traction with a small loss in roll resistance and outright speed. And here are the results of my time testing. Very basic, it's not super science out there in the real world with all its pesky variables against a narrow tyre and a wide tyre. You can see the difference, and they are closer to the narrow tyres. And it comes down to what you want. That trade-off might be too much, it might be just enough for you to justify the 35. And in independent testing by the fantastic website resource that is Bicycle Roll Resistance, these stand out really well compared to narrow tyres. So it's definitely a trade-off in roll resistance and speed of the 35s versus 28s and 30s and 32s, but not as big a penalty as the 40s. And I definitely think 35 feels, for me, like the right setup for the riding I'm doing right now. This time of year, when I'm cruising around, getting the miles in, not smashing a chain gang or doing any racing, the 35 feels like a good compromise between the benefits of going wider, but without feeling sluggish and slow and like you're really fighting the bike and the tyres. And as tyre technology gets better and more tyre brands enter that wider range of tyre options, we might get faster tyres. And this testing is all based on the Pirelli tyres, because Pirelli have been very progressive in offering a wide range of widths in their race tyres, up to 40mm. But we are seeing new entrants in the 35mm sector from Continental and Vittoria. And I'll try and get my hands on the tyres for a future group test on 35mm wide tyres from the three tyre brands that are really sort of pushing it hard right now. And Schwaber hopefully might have something in that region as well. So hopefully I can do a group test and see which of the 35mm tyres is the best, which is the fastest, which is the best compromise, and all the different aspects we look for in a tyre right now. So is a 35mm wide tyre the future of cycling? Well, not for everyone. I am really impressed with these tyres, and I like them a lot more than the 40s. Definitely the way forward for comfort, for maximising comfort and just having a smooth ride on crappy roads. And the interesting thing is, once you get used to it, going back to a narrow tyre could be really tough. And I've been running these for several months and been really enjoying the comfort and other benefits they offer. But for riding fast, actually going as fast as you can, like the clappers, like the wind, for me right now a 30, maybe 32 is where it's at. And you still feel a trade-off the compromise of the 35 versus those 30s and 32s in terms of the speed, which comes more easily from those narrow tyres. But that gap between the performance of a 30 and 32 and 35, I reckon, will come down with future tyre development and more brands entering the arena with wider tyres. So definitely an exciting place right now. If you want a wide tyre, and you have a bike like the 51 Seeker that takes wide tyres, and you want to maximize comfort and don't want too much trade-off in speed, because we all want to ride fast as our bodies and equipment will allow us, and we don't necessarily want to hinder ourselves or handicap ourselves with poor equipment choices. And if you value comfort and then speed, I reckon 35 is definitely a sweet spot right now, and a category that will only get more interesting and exciting as more tyre brands join the party and offer a wide tyre like this one from Pirelli. And we are seeing more road bikes, more modern road bikes being built around space of wide tyres, even race bikes like the Rose Shave. There's a 51 Seeker behind me and a Bridge Surveyor, and there are a whole host of endurance road bikes. And I see some of the best endurance road bikes. Watch this video right up here. And if you want to see a 40mm tyre test, watch this video right up here. And if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, make sure you are subscribed by hitting that button right there. But that is all for today. I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.